Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name's Victoria and I'm a 7th year 3rd grade teacher in Maine, and I'm a mom to a 19-month-old adorable baby boy. And on this channel, I like to create teaching, motherhood, lifestyle type content. And today we are diving into a little plan with me / create slides for the day type content. Now, yes, if you're wondering, it is currently 7:40 p.m. at night, and yes, I am working on slides for the next day. Let me explain. Normally, I try and work through creating slides and all of that throughout the week as we have assigned who's doing what slides and so on. However, we assigned slides for who would do which day a week last Friday, and then I left early on Friday, and then today we did Girls on the Run. So the practice 5K. So between those two things, I have not had any time. So therefore, we are gonna plug away at getting slides ready for tomorrow. And I realized as I was speaking, you might be like, who is we? Why are we planning which days? So let me explain that. So my team and I, there are 4 of us, we share the responsibility of making slides for the day or the week. And obviously there are 5 days in a week. So sometimes we have to make 2 slides and sometimes we only have to make 1 slide. We just rotate through who has to make 2 slides a week. So this week just so happens to be my lucky week of having 2 slides, but I have Tuesday, tomorrow, and then I have Friday slides. And I need to get on making the ones for tomorrow. So since we have this opportunity, I figured I might as well just share the process with you and kind of walk you through what I do when I'm creating slides and planning for slides for the day. Now, I do use Google Slides just throughout the day. It's kind of like my lesson plans. It's what I refer to. Now, obviously, as I'm teaching, I don't directly read off of the slides, but it gives me structure and gives me an idea of the content that I'm going to teach. And it also does make it a little bit more engaging and higher level because it's well thought through and planned well. There you go. So today I have some plans to create. So first I'm just gonna kind of show you the plans for tomorrow, and then we'll work through taking those plans and putting them into slide format so it is ready for the week. Now, before we do that, I'll just kind of briefly explain our curriculums. So for curriculums right now, we are in the womp womp womp, reading and writing like Lucy Calkins workshop curriculums. We are swapping out next year to Collaborative Classroom, the Being a Reader and Being a Writer curriculum. So if you use those, please comment down below and tell me what you think, because I'm very excited to have a more structured literacy, science of reading based curriculum. It is well needed, and I think it'll be great for our kids and our staff, but that's what we're using right now, and obviously supplementing quite a bit. And then in math, we use San Fran, which I think is fine. I've never really loved any curriculum I've used because I feel like for all curriculums you need to supplement, but it's fine, it does its job. So those are the reading, writing, and math curriculums. We also use Mystery Science for science, and I really enjoy that. It's just very teacher friendly. So those are the curriculums we use. Now I will say right now in reading, we are not currently doing any type of program-based things because we are working through doing F&P testing for the end of the year, and with that comes a lot of time that is needed to work through all of that testing. I'm very curious also if we'll continue to do that next year with moving towards a more structured literacy model. Hoping we won't, because it's such a time suck, but we will see. I do not make those decisions. So I'm gonna turn you kind of so you're facing my computer, and I'm gonna get out of the way, and we are going to look at the plans for tomorrow, and then we're gonna just kind of walk through getting those plans onto slides, and I'll just kind of walk you through the process. I hope this is exciting for you and interesting. Now, I will say I am a total Google Slides girly, so you are going to notice my plans are on Google Slides and my slides are obviously on Google Slides, and I just find it super accessible. I don't have either of the things that I'm going to share on TPT, but I am hoping to get them up on TPT this summer once we're out for the summer and I feel like I have more time to dedicate to that. So let me know, comment down below if you're interested in that. Without further ado, let's dive in and plan and get all this done, and I can't wait to share the process with you. Okay, so first I start by just kind of split screening my plans and my slides, and I get to the day of the week for plans, and I am making slides for Tuesday, May 23rd. And then with that, I already made a copy for slides for tomorrow. I basically just took a copy from one of the copies last week and went with that. So now I just need to kind of revise and edit as I work through the parts of the day. Now I think I really quickly started this, so it looks like I copied over the morning message, but these are both, so in my morning message I always have a quote, a message, and then a brain teaser, but these are both things we did yesterday, or today, technically Monday. So I'm gonna get rid of those and I'm gonna go to my last year slides, Tuesday, May 24th, 2022, and I'm gonna copy the morning message, quote, and brain teaser from there, and I'm gonna plug them into my slides. And then I'm not gonna write a message yet because my message I generally do based off of what we're doing in that day, and I don't completely know what we're doing in the day yet. So I am gonna kind of copy the message that I wrote for today just to give me the format, but I'll come back and edit that later. Then we have a daily theme. So our Tuesday theme is Trivia Tuesday. So I just copied this from last year's slides. As you can see, they're literally right here. I copied them and put them in here. So we're gonna do a let's get ready for 4th grade, and they're grade 4 level quizzes, and there's a look at 2 for animals because we just finished an animals unit. Okay, now let's look at my plans. So reading. For reading, we have F&P testing continues. We have a read aloud. We have first 2 scenarios on Google Slides, then read to self. Okay, so our read aloud and stuff needs to go with the situations that they are working through. And I'm pretty sure, I took these already from our Google Slides document. So basically we have this shared Google slide. I can show this to you. Elite SEL strategies, okay. So here's the copy that every kid has. So far they have worked through kind of frustration tolerance, they've worked through friendship, then I think today they worked through being assertive, and then tomorrow is basically compromise. So they're gonna just go on, first we are going to do a read aloud. So I need to get and find a read aloud on compromise. So I just looked up books about compromise before, I was doing this after school today. Article that popped up. I already looked up the story of Fish and Snail, and it didn't look like there were really any good read alouds on YouTube. So that's really all I do is I just go to YouTube. Hey, look, it's me. And I think of books on compromise. I might just look that up. Read aloud on compromise. Now, sometimes this doesn't get me anywhere, so we'll see. Ooh, we love the little spots. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do a little spot of compromise. I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna plug this into our Tuesday slides. I need to close some of my tabs up here because they're already getting me confused. And I'm gonna plug this in here, insert video, take my beautiful, I should probably just double check that this video isn't terrible quality first. I do like to do that normally. Okay, let's see.
Hi, I'm Happiness Spot.
Okay, it looks cute. So now I'm going to do a little lesson on compromise. So compromise. Today we're gonna talk about, because this was the format I used for frustration tolerance. So today we're going to talk about compromise. Compromise is learning how to, let's look up a definition on compromise. compromise for kids. An agreement reached by both sides. So let's see if there's a little definition actually in this read aloud. Compromising is when two people disagree on something and they are able to find a solution that they can both agree on. Okay, that's what we are going to type. Like I said, I have too many tabs open. I'm closing that. Is when two people disagree, is learning how to find a common solution when two people disagree on something. Now we have a definition for compromise. Now it looks like in that read aloud there was a kind of like guide for ways to compromise. So I'm gonna put that in there. So I'm gonna put, remember to compromise, you can first care to share. Okay, cute. 2, you can communicate and listen. I'm going to continue to kind of just type out these steps now. All right, now I'm going to resize these things so they make sense. Like this one should definitely be the biggest, and I'm going to probably make a line for each of them. These are like little formatting things that are simple, but I think kind of make a difference when you're presenting it to the class. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for the lesson. We're gonna have a little read aloud, then we're gonna have this lesson on compromise, really quick and easy, just kind of some guide points for me to talk about. And then they'll move on to their first, which their first is going to be working on this in their SEL notebooks on their Google Slides, and then they're going to read to self. And then they aren't doing word work, so I can delete that. And I can delete this here for their reading to-dos. And they're going to do a first where they're working on their SEL strategies, and then a then of read to self. And then it says over here, Mrs. Leet will pull students to read F&Ps with during this time, and I can put names there if I feel like it. Honestly, I haven't been lately because it's just, I just do whatever kids I feel like I'm ready to test. Okay, and then I think I already plugged in these stories for snack. We're probably gonna have snack outside, so we probably won't even use this, but sometimes my coworkers have snack inside. So this just gives them a story to listen to while the kids are snacking on food. That's something we like to do throughout the school year, because snack inside can sometimes be a little crazy. So then we have specials and then go time. Now, let's see what we're doing in go time tomorrow. We are doing nothing, great. No, just kidding. So I think in go time, really all we're gonna work through is we are going to do some writing, because my students need to work on finishing up their publishing. So I'm gonna pull the publishing slide that we're working through on writing and just plug it into our go time slides. And I think that's all I'm going to have there. We're just gonna do go time, and then most likely before we do this writing time in go time, we'll do a little picture book read aloud at the rug, because I love doing like just a regular picture book read aloud with them. But I don't want to do that. Like I don't need to put that in slides because I'll just decide what I want to do in the moment. Okay, then we have science. Now for science tomorrow, we are taking a second part to our animals assessment. So we already have an animals assessment review slide, so I'm gonna go to those and plug them in. So it's animals through time review. One of my amazing coworkers, teammates, made these slides. So I just need the slides on space, because today my students already did the others, but I'm honestly probably just gonna plug in all of the slides because some of my coworkers may not have gotten through all of them. So that's something that we do frequently, is we kind of just like put in what is needed for everyone, and then you kind of delete after you share and people have had a chance to kind of put what they want in the slides. Now, so basically we already today did the what kind of animals might there be in the future, and just reviewed the lessons that we did in mystery science. And then tomorrow what we are going to do is we're going to talk about how long can people and animals live in outer space, and then we will do the assessment based off of that. So I need to get a screenshot of that assessment that we made and plug it in here. I'm also going to see if we had in our slides today an example. So it looks like she just had this slide. So I'm gonna plug this in to our slides at the end, and then I'm going to do animal check-in part 1. I'll do animal check-in part 2. And I'm gonna put the animal check-in part 1 like assessment slides right underneath the actual lesson that went with that specific check-in. Then I'm going to keep the ones that I am going to use tomorrow right here. So I'm doing animals through time review, and we're just doing the outer space focus. So now I need to get some screenshots of the assessment that we are doing tomorrow. We find it really helpful to do screenshots so kids can explicitly see the questions that they're going to be working through, and you can read them to them and they can ask questions as they come up. So it's helpful to kind of preview that with the kids, because then you don't have a million of the same questions coming at you. So I just took a screenshot of that. I will plug that in after I am done kind of all of my plans, because at the moment I don't want to like exit out of all of my things. So I'll plug that in after. I'm exiting out of my many tabs right now too. Okay, so now we are going to, after that, I'm honestly going to keep a Mystery Science mini lesson here in case we finish early, because likely that won't take us the whole time. So I'm going to go into Mystery Science and I'm going to find their most recent mini lesson, which it looks like it's on composting. Ooh, that's cool. So I'm going to take a screenshot, and I guess I'm just going to exit out of my split screen because I want to do this now. So I'm going to do my screenshot, and then what I'll do next is I will put the screenshot right here, and then after I put the screenshot on the slide, I'm going to link the screenshot by clicking the picture and clicking the link button, and then I'm going to copy the link and plug it in. That way, when I am in the slideshow tomorrow and I want to go to the slide, it immediately brings me to the appropriate website. Super easy. Just, again, it's just setting me up for success for the next day. Okay, now I'm plugging in my animal science check-in right here. Okay, and we almost are done. All we have left is math and writing, but writing's basically already done because we're like doing the same thing all week. Okay, so now let me split screen again. So we're at, after they do science, they go off to lunch and recess, and we have this like little weather thermometer to help them know what the appropriate clothing is, because sometimes spring in Maine can be tricky and they think that they can go and wear like a t-shirt and shorts when it's actually like 40 degrees out and kind of cold. But anyways, I don't think they'll need that tomorrow. Then we have lunch and recess slide, and then they'll have a quiet time slide where these are kind of their options to work through once they get back in from recess. And then we have math. So now what I need to do is kind of make a little assessment review lesson. So I'm going to delete all of these slides. And I am going to go to my math folder, and in here I'm going to go to the SFUSD math programs, and we're going to go to unit 3.8 fractions, lesson slides, and I'm going to go to the milestone task, and I'm going to make a copy of this because I'm going to use some of the slides from the milestone task that we did yesterday. I keep saying yesterday, but I really mean today. It just kind of feels like yesterday because it'll be yesterday tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to do unit 3.8 assessment. And I'm going to retitle this slide assessment. so all I want to do here is I just need to do a few review slides with the kids on things that they are going to need to be prepared for when they are doing the assessment. So first, I should screenshot all of these beautiful assessment pages, and I need to change it so it says post-assessment because we don't want it to say pre-assessment when it's a post-assessment. Okay, so we're gonna screenshot each page. Again, this is helpful for the kids so they know what they're going to be doing, and it gives you a chance to explain and answer any common questions that come up. Okay. And after you've screenshotted all of these, I am going to now plug them into my math slides for tomorrow. And the reason why I'm doing this in a different document right now is because next year, when I want to use the fraction assessment lesson, I need to be able to access it fairly easily. And I don't want to have to like find the specific day that I did it last year. Instead, I just can go directly to the assessment slides, and that'll be easier to find and more of a common place for everyone to access. Not sure if that makes sense, but hopefully it does. Okay, so I'm just plugging in screenshots of the assessment, and now that that's done, I'm gonna just kind of think about some common like review things that I can do. Now, I'm just like looking over my plans one more time, and I'm seeing that like I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm just putting in Unit 3.8 assessment lessons, and I'm doing some opinion editing and publishing lessons for writing, so I don't need my plans up anymore. So I'm gonna exit out of that. So now let's work through these math lessons. So in the assessment, we're doing some identifying of fractions, fractions on a number line, equivalent fractions, and comparing fractions and fractions greater than a whole. So I need to find a way to kind of squeeze all of that in to help them kind of refresh their brains to set them up for success. So I'm gonna just kind of brainstorm for a second. Okay, so I'm looking through what we did for a division post-assessment to just give myself a reminder on how we reviewed and refreshed last time. Just to, I don't know, sometimes it's good to compare. So I know I need some type of early finisher activity too. Okay, so I was just trying to find some activities for things that we could do tomorrow to review, and I always like these little posters. I have the Magic in Math from Amy Lemons and Hope King, and I really like the anchor charts that they make that have like just reference sheets and definitions. So I'm gonna just take some screenshots of these to reference, talking about the numerator and the denominator, and then I'll get another one for like equivalent fractions and another for comparing fractions, and just kind of take screenshots of anything that I think will be helpful, and then I'll plug them in. Okay, so I got all of my screenshots that I wanted, so I'm just gonna kind of plug those in. Again, these slides are really just meant to be conversation starters, so it doesn't need to be anything incredible, just something that I know I can use to reference to start to discuss as I'm reviewing with my students. So I'm plugging in kind of like the launch, the review right here. And so far I have the numerator, the denominator, I have some unit fractions. And then I'm going to make another new slide, and I'm going to make a comparing fractions slide. And after I have what comparing fractions are, I'm going to plug in behind that a few examples of comparing fractions. And in a second, I'll like add some text kind of saying, take out your whiteboards and let's do this together type thing. But I'm gonna just plug these in first. So I have 5/8 and 5/6, 1/2 and 1/5, and then I'm gonna have 3/6 and 3/4. I might not need all 3 of those, but I probably only need 2. So I'll just take 1/2 and 1/5 and 3/6 and 3/4. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to plug in equivalent fractions, and I'll add an activity for that in a second. And then I'm also gonna wanna add something on numbers greater than 1. So, okay. Now let's look at the assessment, kind of make sure that we have activities that will work with what the kids are going to be working on today. So I do need some more activities that are kind of connected to fractions on a number line, because that is a big thing that they're focusing on and something that they also need more practice with. But it's okay, we've gotten as much practice as we can right now. They'll get more practice in 4th grade. So I'm gonna get, that looks like there's little fractions on a number line screenshot. So I'm just kind of using those as headers in a way, and then I will take them and add like an activity in with this. So, okay, I have numerator, denominator, unit fraction. I'm not gonna keep that definition there. That doesn't really matter, honestly. Okay, so now I'm going to put in a shape. And when we're talking fractions, like it's easy to use a circle to talk about it because you often think of like cake or pizza. But it is hard for kids to split circles evenly. And the point of a fraction is that each of the pieces need to be equal sized. So I find it's a lot better to use a square or a rectangle when you're asking kids to split them up. So I'm going to just put like a shape here, and then to the side, I'm going to write divide I'll put out take your whiteboards or get your whiteboards, exclamation mark. Divide your whiteboard into 3/4. And that's all I'm gonna do. And it'll be kept like this. And then I will add in some lines. So we're gonna split it into 4ths. And let's do another line because we need to make it into 4ths, and that's currently just halves. And then I'm going to animate those lines so they come in after I had them draw it. Okay. Now let's do another one of these where they're just, actually this time, oh no, undo. This time let's do one where they are going to get a fraction. Let's make a fraction that looks like, oh, you know what I could do? I can put a table in there, and that way I can shade some of the table. So let's do 6. And I'm gonna resize this table. What a great idea on my part. And I'm going to say, I'm gonna shade this so there are 2 shaded in. And I'm going to write the fraction shaded on your whiteboards. And that looks great. Nothing fancy again, but it'll do. And then we're gonna do another one right below. That'll pop up and it'll say 2/6 space. Sometimes I wish I could figure out how to make this into like fraction form instead of something that looks kind of funky, but that's okay. And if you know how to do that, comment down below. I'd love to hear it. And then we are going to do one more of those. Why not? This time let's do insert table. Let's do a 4 by 4. Ooh. Actually, let's make it go this way instead. We're gonna insert table, and we're just gonna make one that's like cut into 7ths. Perfect. And I'm gonna put this below, and we're gonna make these cells bigger. Okay, now let's shade in. Let's do that many cells. Green. Okay, write the fraction shaded on your whiteboard. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7ths. So like that. And I'm gonna make sure those are animated. I don't think I animated those because I don't want the answer to just pop up when they are supposed to be solving. Okay, so we have a few fraction problems. Now we should have a few about number lines. So I'm gonna copy this number line actually, and we're gonna do that here. I'm just gonna take one of the questions that's pretty similar to the assessment, but change up the numbers. Again, just trying to prepare them, but like also I don't want to bore them to death, so I won't give them too many of these. I'll just put the question on the assessments asking split the number line into 6ths and label 1 6. So let's do split the number line into 3rds and label 1 3rd. Okay, we'll just do one of those. I don't need a question. And then I'm going to do that for them, and I will animate it. So we'll do, this is about 1/3. And then I'm gonna add the fractions, 1/3, and there we go. And animate that. What else? So now we're really kind of into equivalent fractions on the assessment. So let's do an equivalent fraction. So let's do, I'm gonna take I was noticing on this earlier, on the number talk that we did yesterday, there was some good example questions. So I'm gonna take that and I'm going to duplicate slide, and I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to say, are 3/5 and 5/8 equivalent? Why or why not? Explain. That's pretty similar to a question they'll come across on their assessment, so this will prepare them for it. And that's all I'm gonna do for equivalent fractions. Again, I don't wanna like make them do too many problems at a time, or else they're gonna be really bitter come the assessment. You're like, oh my gosh, I just did all of this. Okay, and then we're gonna have them do 1 compare fractions. I'll have them do just 1/5. And I will take one of these boxes and I'll put compare the fractions. Use your whiteboards. We'll do draw and compare the fractions using the symbols. Okay, and then I think we only need to do one more. We need to do one problem that's kind of talking about fractions greater than 1. I'm gonna take another heading. I don't think I screenshot a heading for fractions beyond a whole, so I'm gonna take beyond the whole. And then we are going to do a problem like what we did today on our milestone task. So I'm gonna grab that. Okay, so I'll have, how can we show the problem they're gonna solve is 4th. So let's do, how can we show 4/3? And then I'm going to use this to show it. So now I'm going to put the lines there, and I will just animate it so it pops up or send back. Okay, so I am all done math except I basically just plugged in a math talk where they're just gonna observe the picture and talk about it. Then I have the teaching point. Then I have kind of some headers to get them prepared for some quick whiteboard work before they do the assessment. And then after the assessment, now I just need like an early finisher task. So I'm probably just gonna go on to TPT or like Creative Fabrica, something like that. And I'm just gonna get like a solvent color for summer. And I always go free because why not? If there are some free options, might as well. And this looks good. I'm gonna download this and I'm going to take a screenshot of it, plug it in. Oh, look, pool party, beach day, so fun. And I always like to do like one side is a solvent color and the other side is like a riddle because some kids are just not into coloring. So I'll do like a math riddle summer and see if anything pops up there. Okay, look, let's see if there's any free things that pop up. We like some simple 2-digit addition. This could be good. Why did this teacher wear sunglasses? Because this class was so bright. Cute. Okay, that'll be the early finisher. So they're either going to be able to do a solvent color with multiplication or a addition riddle. So I will remember those for tomorrow. I downloaded them, so it should be fine. I'm going to plug those in for our then. I should change this so this says first, then plug them in, put the screenshots in. Again, this helps keep them so they're aware of what their options are. And then on this page, it'll say first fraction assessment, then solving color or math riddle. And then I'll put the screenshots on that page as well. And that way, if they ask me what can they do next after they finish the assessment, it is clearly there. Does that always work? No, but it's always there so I can be like, hey, look at the board, and that reminds them. Okay, this is good. It's nothing fancy, but it will do. That was definitely like my most time-consuming thing. But now I'm going to click Command A to get all of those slides, and I'm going to plug them into Tuesday slides. And then the only thing that I have left is I need to put in a brain break, because my kids always do a little brain break in between writing and math, or math and writing. So I'm just going to look up brain break. Coach Corey Martin. He has some good ones. So we'll do this. Oh, they're not going to want to do a bluey one. Maybe in Mario Jump Battle. I don't think we've done that one. So I'll put this Mario Jump Battle in. They always like the PE with Mr. G or the Coach Corey Martin. They both have the best YouTube videos. Okay. And then for writing, I'm just going to keep the slides that we've had in all week because they are just continuing on with the process of writing and revising. Woo, we did it. And then I have an end of the day cleanup. Okay, let me chat with you. Okay, it is now dark. It is 8:41, so that took me about an hour to do, but we are done. I hope that you enjoyed following along. I'm sorry if it was like a little boring, but I hope that it was insightful and like helpful for you to see the process. And if you have any questions, please comment down below and let me know what you're wondering. But again, I just sometimes think it's helpful to see how other teachers plan and the process they go through, so I hope that you enjoyed that. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Please comment down below any future videos you'd like to see from me, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can see any of those future videos. And until then, I hope you all have the best day, the best weekend, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.